In this lesson, we'll be learning about image formation by concave mirror. Like we said in the previous lesson, there are 6 cases we need to look into. We'll begin with the first case, that is when an object is placed at infinity. We'll get the image at focus. Consider the case when an object is at infinity. When an object is at infinity, the light rays coming from the object can be considered as parallel light rays. Now let's assume that these light rays are parallel to the principal axis. So let's assume this is a light ray, incident light ray AB. The incident light ray after reflection would go through focus. Similarly, any number of light rays we consider which are parallel to principal axis would be going through the focus. The image would be formed at that point where the reflected light rays meet. Here the reflected light rays meet at the focus. Therefore, image would be formed at the focus and it would be highly diminished. It will be almost point size and the image will be real and inverted. Let's consider the second case. That is when the object is at focus, the image would be formed at infinity and it would be highly enlarged and real and inverted. Now let's assume the object is at focus. Let's consider 2 light rays. A light ray which is parallel to the principal axis and another light ray which passes through the center of curvature. Now let's assume that a light ray is coming from the tip of the object and it's parallel to the principal axis. Now this light ray after reflection would pass through the focus. Now let's consider another light ray which is coming through the center or which passes through the center of curvature. Now this light ray would get retraced after reflection. As we can see from the diagram, both these reflected light rays are parallel to each other. That means they meet only at infinity. So we can assume the image to be formed at infinity and the image to be real and inverted and highly enlarged. Now let's consider the third case. That is when the object is placed at center of curvature. When the object is placed at center of curvature, the image would be formed at center of curvature and it would be of the same size and real and inverted. In this case, we are placing an object at center of curvature and we are considering 2 light rays. Let's assume a light ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Now this light ray after reflection would go through the focus. Now let's consider another light ray that passes through the focus. Now a light ray which is incident through the focus would after reflection would go parallel to the principal axis. Now let's look at both these reflected light rays. Both these reflected light rays meet at point M, so that the image would be formed at C to M. The image would be CM. So as we can see from the diagram, the image would be formed at center of curvature. The image will be of the same size as that of the object and it will be real and inverted. Now let's consider the fourth case. That is when object is placed beyond C. When object is placed beyond C, the image would be formed between F and C and the image would be diminished and real and inverted. In this case, we'll place the object beyond center of curvature. So let's assume that this is the object AB and let's consider 2 light rays. Let's consider a light ray which is parallel to the principal axis. Now this light ray which is parallel to principal axis after reflection would pass through the focus. Now let's consider another 1 more light ray, a light ray passing through the center of curvature. A light ray through the center of curvature after reflection would retrace its path. Now looking at the 2 reflected light rays, these 2 reflected light rays meet at a point. Now the image would be formed at this point M. From the diagram, the image is diminished and it is formed between F and C. So the image in this case would be formed between focus and center of curvature. It would be diminished and it would be real and inverted. Now let's consider the fifth case. That is when object is placed between focus and center of curvature. In this case, the image would be formed beyond center of curvature. It would be enlarged and real and inverted. So here we are placing the object between focus and center of curvature. Let AB be the object and we are considering 2 light rays. A light ray which is parallel to principal axis and another light ray which passes through center of curvature. The light ray parallel to principal axis after reflection would pass through focus. And the light ray which is passing through center of curvature after reflection would retrace its path. Both these reflected light rays meet at point M and we get image IM at point I which is beyond center of curvature. So in this case, the image would be formed beyond C, it would be enlarged and it would be real and inverted. Now let's look at the last case, that is when we place the object between F and P. In this case, we'll be getting the image behind the mirror. It would be enlarged and it would be virtual and erect. In this case, we are placing the object between pole and focus of the mirror. Let AB be the object. We are considering two incident light rays. An incident light ray incident at the pole of the mirror and another incident light ray passing through the center of curvature of the mirror. The light ray incident at the pole of the mirror would get reflected following laws of reflection, and the light ray through the center of curvature would get retraced. It would get reflected along the same line after reflection. Now, as we can see from the image, both these reflected light rays do not meet anywhere. Therefore, we retrace them backwards and they meet at a point M. We'll get a final image at this point behind the mirror. In this case, the image is formed behind the mirror. It will be enlarged and it will be virtual in this case. Now, this table summarizes what we've learned in this lesson. So, it shows that the different positions of object for which we got different position of image and the size of the image, the nature of the image. So in column 1, row 1, at infinity, we said that at infinity we got the position of the image at focus and it was highly diminished and it was real and inverted. And the second row, at focus, when we placed the object at focus, we got the image at infinity. It was highly enlarged and real and inverted. And when we placed the object at C, center of curvature, we got the image also at C. They were of the same size and real and inverted. And when we kept the object beyond C, we got the image between F and C and it was diminished. When we placed the object between F and C, we got it beyond C and it was enlarged. When we kept the object between P and F, we got the image behind the mirror and it was enlarged. Now it's easy to memorize this table because the first two are reverse of each other. Like here it is at infinity, here it's at focus, and in the second row it's just the reverse of the first one. Similarly, these two cases are also reverse of each other. Like when we place the object at beyond C, we get it between F and C, and when we keep the object between F and C, we get the image beyond C. It's like reciprocal of each other. So it's easy to memorize. Moreover, if it's at C, we get the image at C itself. And to memorize the size of the image, only two of them are diminished. That is, when we keep the object at infinity and when we keep the object beyond C, the image we get would be diminished. All other cases are enlarged except for the case at C. At C it would be same size. Nature of the image is real and inverted except for the last one where it's virtual and erect when we place the object between P and F. That's all about basics of concave mirror image formation.